Our speaker today is Connie Paus. Connie's been a member of Waldo's Toastmasters Club for over 30 years, and she's presented hundreds of speeches in Toastmasters. She continues to work through the program because, in her words, either you use your skills or you lose them. So why did Connie choose to talk about this topic today? Waldo's has many new members right now, and figuring out what to talk about can be a challenge. Connie will provide some suggestions to help us figure out how this sometimes difficult task can be handled. Connie will provide the slide deck in the minutes that come out after the meeting, so everyone will have access to that for future reference. Today's Connie is using this speech as a level 1 project in her visionary communications path. For our new Toastmasters, your projects in level 1 are somewhat different, but don't worry, you'll have access to this project when you get to level 3. Mr. Timer, Connie has asked for the lights at 5 for green, 6 for yellow, and red at 7 minutes. Let's welcome with her topic, selecting your topic, Connie Paus.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. When you see your name on the agenda as the speaker, you might have volunteered or you might have been voluntold. Either way, many of us tear out our hair at the thought of giving a speech. What will I talk about? A few weeks ago, Kevin provided a great speech for us on how to write a speech. It was excellent, and it really broke it down into the ideas component. This presentation that I'm doing today is from Toastmasters International, and it provides us with some advice in selecting a topic to speak on. Additionally, a key resource that you might look for or look to as you're preparing your speeches is your mentor, because there's a wealth of experience in our experienced Toastmasters, and drawing on them will certainly do you well. Next slide, please, Brad. When you're looking for speech topic, there are 2 sources that you can draw on. The first is personal interests. I really like personal interests and experiences because these are the things that allow you to draw on your passion. They're the things that you know you're the best, and that passion often communicates itself with the audience. The personal experience might be your interests and hobbies, your career, your education, your family. In your icebreaker speech, if you're a new Toastmaster, you are going to speak about a topic you know very well, and that is you. A second key area would be your reference materials. Now, reference materials have changed over the years because when I was younger, it was encyclopedias and going to the library. Now it's what's appearing on your news feed as you're scrolling through your phone. Honestly, the articles that pop up in your news feed, hearing news stories, those could pique your interest. Your magazines, because you may read a magazine, you may visit a website. There are so many areas that you can find topics that you might want to dig a little deeper in and provide a 5 to 7 minute speech on them. Next slide, please, Brad. I'd like to offer one piece of advice to you, and that is that ideas are fleeting. It's kind of like a dream when you wake up in the morning and you know, man, I was dreaming, I have to remember that. 5 minutes later, before you pour your first cup of coffee, the idea is gone. So please, when you get an idea, write it down. Back in the day when we had manuals, I used to scribble ideas in all of my manuals in the margins. I also used scraps of paper, and I think if I went to my Toastmasters cabinet downstairs, I'd probably find a folder full of speech ideas. Some folks carry around a notebook and they jot things down there, but whatever you want to do or however you want to approach it, this advice from Toastmasters International is invaluable. Write down your ideas. The next slide, please, Brad. The next important thing for you to remember is to narrow your selection, because as you delve deeper into your topic, some of the things that you might want to consider would be, first of all, your audience. Who are the people you're speaking to? If it's a technical subject at work, you're going to use different language than if you provide some of this technical material to your Toastmasters audience who might not have the same kind of skills and background. What's the occasion that you're speaking at? We've had members practice speeches for weddings or other special occasions. Toastmasters is a safe place to do those kinds of things. And your own abilities. If you are an authority on a subject, make sure that you provide some detail about that to the Toastmaster, so the Toastmaster does make that explicit in your introduction, because it makes us sit up higher and take note when we know that you are an authority. But not just being an authority isn't an authority isn't the only thing. Your own enthusiasm, your interests, those also come through, and those will come through in your voice and the way that you talk. Continuing with narrowing your selection, be specific. As I've listened to evaluations over my 30-some years, one of the most familiar comments that I've heard is that the speaker had material for 2 or 3 multiple speeches that they were trying to cram into this one presentation. So don't be scared to break it down and maybe make a part 1, part 2 speech. Or another comment is that the speaker raced through their material because they were running out of time and they needed to fit everything that they had written down. So is your topic specific enough for the time allotted? Do you have the right subpoints? And what can you take out of your speech to make it concise and ready for your audience? In conclusion, your personal experience, the resources, the considerations of your audience will help you to create a great speech. Because of the diverse membership we have here at Wild Oats, we are so privileged to hear speeches on a wide array of topics. It's always so interesting, and I encourage you to draw on your passions. Remember that this is a safe place to try new things and to learn new things. For example, today I tried doing a presentation from the Knox Met room to broadcast it to all of you on Zoom. Didn't work quite as intended, but I came into this with a backup plan. Again, it's a safe place to try new things. Try to speak about new things, draw on that experience, your passions, and I know that we are going to hear wonderful topics from you in the future. Back to you.